Welcome into Spilly on the Rocks. I am in Chicago. It is around midnight, 12:25, and we're getting ready. It's Memorial Day weekend, so I don't know how many people are going to be listening to this thing, but quick reflection of this weekend. Rockies took on the New York Yankees, which was pretty fun. Fun. The Rockies won on Friday, which is great. Because everybody thought the Rockies were just going to get killed by the Yankees, and they in fact they win on Friday. That one's pretty cool. Chase Dollander, we know, went on the IL. That's one of the Rockies' best young prospects, and his elbow had elbow inflammation, and there's been concern that Chase is going to go on the IL for an extended period of time. And anytime you hear some sort of like elbow discomfort, you automatically think Tommy John surgery. So fingers crossed, we're not going to get there. And word was this weekend for Chase, he was playing catch. He continues to play catch, and all the MRIs and all the imaging done on his arm was fine. So good news there. So Friday, cool story. Tanner Gordon, who has not been successful at all at the big league level, ends up getting a spot start against the Yankees and pitches really well. Pitches great. Aaron Judge, who came into town, and Aaron Judge is just like, can we just marvel at Aaron Judge for a second? I'll get back to Tanner Gordon in a second. Like, Aaron Judge is going to be, when it's all said and done, probably the greatest right-handed power hitter we've ever seen. And what I have seen from him in the last couple of years has been just like this incredible ascension. Like he has gotten better and better and better, and it's not easy to get better as you get older. And you get a contract like Aaron Judge got, and like you would assume that at some point he would go backwards. And there's a great story about Aaron Judge, how right before he signed his big monster contract back with the Yankees, there was a chance that he was going to sign with the San Francisco Giants. And he doesn't. He ends up calling Hal Steinbrenner at like the 12th hour and ends up working out a deal with Hal Steinbrenner, which is just fantastic. So good for the sport to keep Aaron Judge there. But this year, he's gotten better. So a season ago, he was the MVP of the American League, basically an 11-win player. If you're an 11-win player, like that's so stupid. My career, I was negative. I was a negative win player, even though I would argue if you go to like a different website, you go to like Baseball Prospectus, I'm a positive win player. I'm actually pretty good. But on Baseball Reference, which values defense, and I made some errors in the outfield, throwing errors that I'm still ticked off about. One was like I hit a dude in the back. I would have thrown him out at third. There's some other stupid errors in there, but you take away some of my errors, I'm a positive win player, but nowhere near Aaron Judge. This year, Aaron Judge leads all players in wins above replacement, so WAR. He leads the league in hits, leads the league in homers. He's hitting 397, 397, and he had a list of ballparks where he hadn't homered in. And so he came to Coors Field, and on Friday, of course, he hits a home run. Hits a homer on Saturday. And so, like, you dig into Judge's numbers, and like, we don't look at batting average as much anymore. It's just kind of an antiquated stat. We care more about OPS. Well, OPS is like a combination of on base percentage and slugging, OPS on base plus slugging. So the on base this year, he leads the league in on base percentage. He's at 487, which is basically telling you 48% of the time he's getting on base for his at bats. Half the time, that is like like Barry Bonds territory. Slugging percentage is any type of the way to look at slugging percentage. Like anything over 500 is good. But he's at 759, which is just stupid. That's higher than last year when he won the MVP. And he's won the MVP twice already. So, but he's doing it as a 33-year-old. This year leading the league in OPS. So 1246. OPS plus is a measure that's pretty easy to understand. You take the league wide average of OPS and then how many times better he is than the league average. He's at 249, which is just absurd. Like that's in like Hall of Fame single season territory. Um, like the last, if you were to extrapolate the last like year worth of games, it's over 60 something homers. And in OPS plus, which is park adjusted, that goes into the OPS league wide stats, like in the 240s, which like is unheard of. Like nobody plays a season where they're um, basically 150% better than the league. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy. 33 years old, like you don't get that level of production. So he's been well worth the money. And the Yankees are so happy that they ended up signing him long term. Thank God he called Hal Steinbrenner and said, "I want to be a Yankee." And not only is he a Yankee, he's the captain. And what's cool about Aaron Judge, I'll spill some tea on Aaron Judge for a second. You know, you think about a big contract and you think about leadership. Leadership looks different for a lot of different people. Some guys are lead by example, some others are like way more vocal. Judge is a combination of both. He's a lead by example guy, really down to earth, easy to talk to. But then he also, he on the road will have team dinners, which might not seem like a big deal to you. It's a massive deal. When your best player is getting the whole team together and he's not going to his room, going to his suite, worried about himself, but he's actually getting the team together and he forks the bill for these big dinners. Yeah, I get it. He can afford it, but it resonates in a way that is really hard to describe unless you're in that room. Everybody might have like a really rich friend, but the rich friend eventually doesn't want to pay for everybody's meal every single time. Like it's fun sometimes, but not all the time. Judge does it basically all the time. And he does it because he wants to get people together and he wants his teammates together. And that really shines. It really shines. So when you're best player in a face of the game, in somebody that is probably under scrutiny, especially in that market, New York, and to still perform and then carry the weight of the captains, that C on the jersey, regardless if you're a Rockies C or a Yankees C, the Yankee C I think has a little bit more weight to it just based on the history of the C. Go back to Thurman Munson, you go back to Derek Jeter. Now, Aaron Judge, there hasn't been a lot of captains. He really is somebody that you should be proud of. Like, if you're a baseball fan, you should be proud of Aaron Judge. Like, dude, that guy is somebody that if you have a daughter, you're like, I want Aaron Judge to marry my daughter. Not because of the money, because of how he treats people. He's just off the charts, wonderful human. So on Friday, Rockies win, and Tanner Gordon ends up getting his first major league win, and that's pretty cool. I mean, given the fact that he had not had much success at the major league level, hadn't had a major league win, was a spot start because he was in Albuquerque. Rockies basically took him off the roster, then they put him back on, and got his first win. It was fantastic. 6 innings against the Yankees, and that Friday night game they went 3-2. Uh, People probably bet their house like that the Rockies were going to lose, and the Rockies won. So it's great. So they had a chance, and it's wild to think that the Rockies have not won a season series all year long. All year, they haven't won one, not one series. They haven't won one, and so they win Friday. They lose horribly bad on Saturday, and then they push the Yankees to the limit on Sunday in a game that was, soaked. There's rain delay in there, hour and 40 plus minutes. But at the end of it, and I pointed out, with the Rockies that we were going to see a lot more scrutiny on the team and what's going on based on the record, not just nationally, but from Denver media because the Nuggets were out, the Avs are out, and we're waiting for the Broncos to start playing football. Like we're reading articles about Broncos punters. Like clean it up. don't care about a Broncos punter right now. We're in baseball season. So a lot of people have like tried to dissect it and come up again with all the problems, but never a solution. And we saw a couple good articles. Like Troy Rank wrote a good one, kind of dissecting 5 ways to improve the Rockies. I did approve that article. When I read it, it was like he had some good ideas. Again, auditing the system is important. Coming up with some principles, innovation, all those things that the Rockies do need. Increase people within the office. Make sure you have a lot more people within the office. He even suggested a president of baseball operations, which I've suggested however many times I've been doing this. Spilly on the rocks. So like more voices from the outside would improve. I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. Maybe kind of fingers crossed. I still think the auditing is the easiest fix for now because it just alerts you to the problems and puts it on paper, shows ownership, shows Dick in the ownership group, like here's where you're short and here's where you're lacking from the outside. Like there's no skin in the game here. Just trying to show you where you're missing out. So Rockies now, since I'm in Chicago, this is going to be a hard road trip, historically hard. Cubs for 3. There's a game in about 12 hours. Rockies are playing a day game on Memorial Day, which I'm looking forward to. So you have the Cubs, who are fantastic. They are leading the National League Central. They're a really good team, crazy offensive team. And then they have a day off on Thursday where they go to New York, and then they're going to take on the Mets. And then they go to Florida for the Marlins. So 3 cities, 9 games, and have no idea what the record's going to be when they get home. I'm hoping they win at least 1 game. Be nice if they win 2 or 3. It would be a miracle if they have 5 and come back with a winning record. Don't think that's going to happen. I don't think anybody thinks that's going to happen, but it's maybe. I mean, there are some signs, really small signs that things are starting to move somewhat. I mean, it is what it is because the roster hasn't improved. It's still the same roster, but it's really nice to see Ezekiel Tovar. He's been raking since he's been back. Jordan Beck in the leadoff spot is basically hitting like 380. Doyle down in the 5 hole is doing okay. McMahon swinging the bat. Tolia swinging the bat a little bit better. But overall, like it's going to come down to pitching. Back in the bullpen, still been good. Like the young arms have been holding up, but starters are constantly a question mark right now. Senzatella continues to get a hit at a really high rate, but he's surviving. He's mixing in his pitches a little bit different, a lot more curveballs, a lot more 4-seam. If you've heard me talk about this, I've been saying that. Same with Kyle Freeland. Kyle Freeland, same thing. He had a chance on Saturday. He was cruising along, and then the 6th inning happened, and there was a bad error, and then the Yankees ended up scoring 10, which is like true to form. But Kyle has been pitching really good. 4-seam curveball. That's the combination, especially at Coors. And now we're going to see a 3rd start for Carson Palmquist. And I mentioned, I think in my last Spilly on the Rocks when I did Carson Palmquist, I was like, hey, check out this plot. He's a huge extension pitcher up at the top of the zone. Let's go get up there. And what I finally saw him live. And I don't know if it's a fear. I think it's a little bit of a fear factor. Certainly don't want to point it out, but I think it's worth noting. Young pitchers to throw hard up and in to big league hitters is scary. You don't want to hit a big leaguer. There's just a little bit of a fear factor. If you've ever thrown BP to your kid and you accidentally throw one up and in and you drill them or you get close to them, the next like 4 throws that you do is like in the other batter's box. You miss by like a mile. Carson has to get to the point where he's just drill everybody. Who cares? They'll recover. They'll be fine as long as you don't hit a wrist or a face. But I'd like to see on Memorial Day, Carson really just say F it. Just go hard fastball up and in. Go for it. Let it eat. Let it rip. He throws from this really unique low arm slot. It's an upshoot fastball. That's what it's supposed to be. And just let it go. Let it go. You drill people, you drill people. You get sent down, you get sent down. But at least go down knowing that this is how your stuff works. I'm sure you might know somebody that you're like, dude, this works for you really well. Do that as many times as possible. So hopefully Carson will do that. And if so, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. So, and the Warren Schaefer era, it's been good. Like he is growing it. Now it's 2 weeks in, using the bullpen a little different, using starters a little different. I think we're going to see an opener at some point. I think we're getting close to seeing an opener, which the Rockies have refused to do. Opener just gives you a fighting chance. So, for example, let's say Senzatella is taking on the Mets later on in the week, and you have some hitters at the top of their lineup. I think Nimmo is still kind of in the top of the lineup. You have Juan Soto. Maybe you start Ryan Rolson. Maybe you start a lefty reliever, and have him go an inning just to get through the top of the lineup with some lefties, and then you roll in Senzatella after, so he gets a little bit of a running start. So you're not facing the top of the lineup twice, where there's some platoon matchups. So we'll see. I don't think a lot of these things happen overnight. I think there's still some internal battles. There's still some, some thought process where it's people aren't all the way bought in. Some of the players are probably not all the way bought in, and it takes time. Takes time, but hopefully this road trip will be fruitful. I mean, I doubt it. They have 9 wins right now. Was it 9-44? Really frustrating, but you have nothing to lose. And the guys continue to play hard, like they fight till the end. Like all the problems that we've been talking about, chase rates, whiff rates, they're well aware of it. It's not like they're not aware of it. They're aware of it. There's articles being written about it every day. The players are talking about it. Like, I know we got to improve on these things. Yep. Yep. So hopefully, hopefully this week will be a good sign of the times, and maybe a win or two. Surprise Chicago would be great, because I cannot stand hearing "Go Cubs Go" at the end of a win. Like that song sucks. So follow me at SpillyGo19. Follow the guys at Mile High Sports Center. They have a big party coming up into June. I'm going to be at that party. Going to be at that party, so we can have a beer together. All right, bye.